Okay, class A, now you should have a general idea of when to use the subjunctive. You have to have a subject change. You have to have K, and the subjunctive will follow K in the subordinate or dependent clause. And so here's how you conjugate a verb in the subjunctive. Take the present tense yo form, drop the O, add the opposite ending. We've done this before, so yay, this should be fairly simple. Go ahead and write this down, press pause, and I will continue on when you're ready. So what are the opposite endings? Because we did just put it in quotation marks, so that means not truly opposite endings. It means that AR verbs take ER endings for the most part. Ace, amos, ace, n, but what do you notice? In the subjunctive, the yo form does not end in an O. It's the same as the he, she form. We've seen that in the imperfect before when the yo and the he, she are the same. Of course, the accent is on the E. And er, ir verbs take AR endings. Again, the yo form does not end in the letter O. It's the same as the he, she. As, amos, ice, on. Press pause, and when you're ready, we'll move on. But you have to be aware of verbs with irregular yo forms. Look at your list of the verbs I've already started and fill in the yo forms that you believe that they are in pencil, so you can change them if you must, but I'm about to show you. They are these in this left-hand column. I don't know if you guys can see all of this one. It's oigo, O-I-G-O. But in the left-hand column, I have all of our go verbs that we already know, or most of them. And then on this side, I have other yo verbs that are irregular. Recojo from recoger, veo from ver, conosco from conocer, conduzco from conducir, which means to drive, traduzco from traducir, which means to translate, and construyo from construir, which means to construct. So these are all ones that you should be familiar with, but not limited to these. Go ahead and press pause. I'm moving on to Kargar and Zar verbs, which you should already know what happens to those. Also beware of Kargar and Zar verbs. Why? Because you're about to take an AR verb and add the letter E. And if you have CE, that's pronounced say, not K. And if you have GE, that's pronounced hey, not gay. And what can't you do in Spanish? Well, you can't ZE, so we CE. So of course we have to change car verbs from C to QU, and if you want full credit, your Q's will have tails. Gar verbs change G to GU, and your G's will have tails, and Zar verbs change Z to C. In order to get complete credit for your notes right here, I would like you to choose a car, gar, or Zar verb of your choice and conjugate it in that space in your note. Let me be very clear. Conjugate it in the subjunctive, so where you take the present tense yo, drop the o, and have those opposite endings. So pick one of your choice, Kargar or Zar verb, preferably not a stem changer because that's a bit challenging at the moment, and put it here. Moving on, press pause if you need to. Last thing we need to be aware of are 6 irregulars, which are still the same irregulars from commands where you have to yo, drop the o, opposite ending, which I say spell dishes. Well, because they do spell dishes if you put them in that order. Okay, because what are the yo forms of these verbs? In the present indicative, they are doi, voi, say. Don't worry about the present tense yo form of haber. You don't know it yet. Estoy and soy. And what can't you do to these 6 verbs in this form? You can't drop the O. So you just have to know what the irregular form or the subjunctive form of them are. And they are de, vaya, sepa, aya, este, and sea. These shouldn't look totally new to you because you've used them before with commands. So please copy this information down, and we will be talking about what these stars for de and este mean in class.